This is Central Suites next to KL Sentral, just like 5 minutes walk away from New Central. And I'm just gonna walk around and show you guys some of the things I noticed from a designer point of view, and you can have a look. KL Sentral is running out of land, and this is just one of the few residential buildings that you can invest in. It's just 5 minutes away from New Central. Here's a drop-off area to Tower 1 and 3. Super huge area. It's almost disproportionate to how this whole space is supposed to feel. It doesn't feel as elegant as it should be, considering the downlights that they've fitted it up here. It's rather glaring and it's not warm enough. Choice of laminate used here is rather dated, and considering having such a large reception area, it's very modern, but it's not congruent with the entire scheme of design. Props to them to also choose really nice customized furniture pieces throughout the entire space. And here's a glimpse of the mailbox. Very private, simple and nice. Guess they could have tried a lot better with the service doors behind the reception counter where you get most of the eyeballs. Now, leading to the unit itself, this is the lift lobby. The lift is covered with granite stones on the floor, and once you come up to your respective floors, this is what you're greeted with. Super nice. Everything is cladded with granite tiles or spray tile. Walls are covered in spray tiles, so rest assured they will require very little maintenance. Very tahan lasak because they're mostly used on building externals. And the foyer itself covers with pebble wash, so it creates a very different feeling from the normal traditional 2x2 tiles. Now, coming to the 650 square feet unit, this is really weird to see this bulkhead on top, but what's really different from that sets apart from other developers is they provide L boxes where you could fit in light trough. So aside from typical downlight, you could opt for the hidden light feature, which sets different mood in your space. So props to Embar CB for creating this for owners. But what's funny is that once the light trough comes to the end, it's stopped with this because you want to fit curtains. Now, coming to the rooms, it's rather narrow, but it comes with light trough as well, so it comes with different mood setting. And what's really nice is it saves space by having a sliding door to the toilet. Once they come with so many additional light, the light point naturally increases and there are so many switches. Now, going to the kitchen, they've provided kitchen set by Signature Kitchen, come with soft close, very neutral tone, white and light blue color. So it's easy to match the whole space, and the sink itself is by Ferranze. It's definitely something of a higher quality standard. Now let's go to the bathroom. So it's really nice that they have fitted it with shower screen as well. Some of the units come with sliding doors, and this one comes with a door even. Here they use Toto, and even the sink is mounted on a granite top. Hot water shower mixer is also Toto, and it also comes with a niche where you could put shampoo. So find a right contractor where they can actually fix up a glass nicely for you. Here's a little problem. Seeing the camera over there? That's where people could actually see you from the corridor. So that's something that we should probably address to the developer and see what could be done about it, because this grill itself, understanding it's a proprietary system, it's also slightly too low if someone happens to stick a phone up there. Coming back to the unit, more service doors. These two double service doors lead to the laundry area, and it's super tight, narrow, and it's always required to open two doors. And these service doors faces the dining area, so this is something really tricky. This is another dual key unit where it comes with an island hood and hob. Very nice. From the other angle, this is how it is like. Now the toilet over here comes with a full height window, so it's really nice, but you gotta cover it with either frosted or blinds. Window systems are good, very tightly fitted, and it's double glazed, so it's really sound insulated. Now listen to the effectiveness of the door. That cuts off easily 30 to 40% of the noise. Pretty good, considering that we're in a city center facing the hustle and bustle of KL Sentral. Windows sit just right above the skirtings, which is about 4 inches above the floor. Super nice, where you bring ample amount of sunlight in and you have a good view on the 19th floor where we're at right now. Unlike many other condos, this is not claustrophobic. It brings in a lot of sunlight and a lot of breeze coming through because they have ample amount of space between one block to another. It also comes with a really nice small garden on the 18th floor, so it's kind of like a breakout spot for the entire structure. Coming to the facility podium, that's one of my favorite spots. It comes with a lot of nooks and cranny where you can hang out, hide out, or even relax and chill. You've got a huge swimming pool here, and you could see the mosaic mimicking the original design concept throughout the entire building. You could even see it happening here above this steel structure. Very nice. It's not just one entire open space, but it's just covered, so it feels a lot more cozy, and that brings a lot of design variation to the whole space instead of just one big podium. We've also got a full-size basketball court that you will be shaded from the morning all the way probably until 1 p.m. Coming to the details, they also spend a lot of attention on simple stuff like a drainage grading. And you could also see how the design carries through all the way to just a simple bench. Despite being in the middle of KL Sentral, you get to experience this tranquility and through the facility. I think that's such a great thing to have. Coming to the Tower 2 lobby, it's awesome when the designer decides to use our local traditional culture and infuse with the design. Here, they use sepak takraw as the concept. It's very native to Southeast Asia and especially Malaysia itself. And the designer cleverly puts together it into the lightings and the ceiling itself. Now here I have a pet peeve about the laminate being used here. The direction of the wood grain is a little bit distracting because you have one going horizontally and then one vertically, and the LED light being used here is a diode one, so you can actually see the reflection of it. So going back to light, you can even see the irregular light emission out of the ceiling, because now you have a curved ceiling. You gotta be really careful with how you use the LED lights. Around the corner within the same block, let's go to the retail mall. Now this is the external walkway entering the mall itself. You can see how the walls are being tapered at an angle. The ceiling is quite low, so you may have certain challenges putting up the signage itself. The first thing you will realize that this mall is pretty cozy, it's intimate, and you know it's meant to serve the tenants and the patrons in this building itself. And they carry across all these design motifs across the entire building, not just the counter but the ceiling as well. These panels are installed directly on the plaster ceiling, and because you want to hide the brackets, so you paint the base black. Now that poses a very difficult problem where the paint is not straight. Only that you can see these lines are poorly schemed as well, but it's really nice to have this dynamism of space going with different shapes as well. Now here you could see the shops are all pretty irregular, but they have really large units. Now being irregular, you have all these cuts and oddly angled tiles. Now let's go to the outside. You could see these stainless steel floor markers where it's potentially used to extend the space of the retail spaces like Starbucks, where you could just sit and hang outside, so that demarcates the area of these retail shops. I also like to point out that they actually spend quite a fair bit on the exterior walkway, where they don't keep it as a plain plaster ceiling, but they're cladded as well. Bicycle parking spots right at the drop-off area, so facilities are great, and you could see that they're trying to encourage outdoor living. This is right in front of main entrance, and they have invested a lot in building up the landscape. It's really detailed and it's nice to be at, considering you're in the middle of the hustle and bustle of KL Sentral. Now they could have used very basic pathways for the landscape, but they opted with these small mosaic tiles, which is interesting because it's very difficult to cut these curves and edges to make sure it's smooth and nice. But they've done a great job here. Now across the entire building, you could notice these customized features, and it is not simple stuff where they just chuck a simple bollard and call it a day. They actually spend time to look in the design and make everything coherent across the entire building. So props to MRCB and the architect team as well. Now this project doesn't feel luxurious, but it's pretty exclusive. It's above average, and you know it could stand the test of time. Having the design to be carried out across the entire place, you know that it has been put through a lot of thought process, and despite being dense, it feels that it's breathable, it's comfortable to be living here. It's my first time sharing about my thought process of architecture in Malaysia, and follow for more, subscribe, and I'll be looking to share my architecture and design journey with you guys.